My name is Bobby.
And I'm Veronica.
And we are the Browns.
We'd like to welcome you to another episode of
Breaking Bread with the Browns,
where we seek to encourage you by building hope, health, and happiness in your marriage. So tonight, as we so oftentimes do, we are here to keep it real with you.
100.
100. So an area in Bobby and I's marriage where we've struggled, I would say since the beginning of us being married, kind of. We've struggled in this area.
Even before we got married.
Well, you know what I mean. But an area that we struggled, and we kind of talked about this before in previous episodes, but tonight and for the rest of the year, all the way up until January 2020, we are going to be talking on the topic of finance. So the reason that we kind of chose this topic was because it is actually the third reason or the third cause for divorce. Yeah. So we know that right now between 42 and 45% of couples get divorced. A lot of people feel like that's a high number. It is, however, that number is actually on the decline since 1980. So in the 1980s, it was 50%, and now we're down to about 42 to 45%. Still much higher than I know I would want to see for marriage. However, just after doing some research, it was very apparent, and we know just with things that we've dealt with, that finances come in the top three. And even though it said that it was third, I think number one was like lack of commitment or lack of trust or arguing all the time. A lot of those arguments can really be spawned or started from the finance, right?
If you ain't got your money, you won't have your honey.
But so we decided to kick this series off tonight. We're going to just give you a history of our financial story or background story. And then we'll have a couple of additional couples on to kind of give their testimony as far as finances in their marriage. We'll look at couples that have done things right, that are financially healthy. And then some couples that have identified areas of weakness. So for us, we're still on our financial journey.
Mm-hmm.
And
well, I think you forever on your financial
absolutely.
journey. Never arrive.
Never arrive. But we have some goals now, in our life, and I feel like we're taking it more seriously. God has continued to provide and even give us increase, even
Grace.
when we did not necessarily handle things the way that we should have. So the title of this series is going to be called Financial Flex.
Oh, you swole?
A little bit.
Make it jump.
So
that's the arm she had when she was holding that car seat.
That left one. So financial flex. Why do we decide to call it financial flex? We know a lot of people normally go with financial freedom, being financially free. Absolutely, you need to be financially free. However, when we kind of talked about it, we decided we need to flex on these finances or flex in these finances.
Well, a lot of times people hear the word flex. Urban aspect, think it has you trying to ball or look hardcore a certain way, but not necessarily that. Flexing, if you're working out, you got to stretch your muscle. You have to work your muscle. As you work your muscle get bigger and stronger, and that's the flex aspect of it. That's why you see the magazine that's called Flex. When you see a bodybuilder lifting weights and he hitting his physique and poses, he flexing, but also aka stunting. So the reality of that is, if we're going to live a right life with our finance, there is going to be a testimony part that it will flex also spiritually, emotionally, and physically. Someone can see your fruits. You reap what you sow. And I think that part of that flexing is a reality every day, because you have to be honest. When you look in the mirror at yourself every morning, it's obvious you know what you're looking at. Spiritually, emotionally, and physically, but also financially. And if you want your funds to get better, you got to do the right thing. So when you said financially
free,
not free, you said something about fit, financially fit. What do that look like?
Yeah. So even,
you know what it looks like.
Right. Flexing when you first start working out, right? When you first start lifting.
When last time you worked out?
See, he coming for me. So when you first start lifting weights, it's difficult, right? And a lot of times we don't want to, and when I say we, I'm not just talking to you all. I'm saying we don't want to experience the pain or the uncomfortable portion of that first workout. You know what I'm saying? That first time lifting weights, but no pain, no gain, right? So we have to look at ourselves and we have to do these hard things, especially in our finances, because it's hard.
Now, first, before you even can understand you physically, it is all mental. It's a mental thing working out because you got to program yourself. You got to be motivated. You got to be encouraged. And the number one rule in the gym is that you can't compare yourself to nobody else. Yes. So when you go to the gym, you should, like fellas, you should see someone over there squatting 300, bench pressing 300. It takes time to get there. He just walk in that gym, touch them weights, and it just happened. He had to build up. Same with a woman. You see someone over there doing the same thing. She just get that butt. She worked on that butt. It's something that you got to do consistent if you want it. If you want to work on your biceps, your triceps, your glutes, your stomach, it ain't just one area. It's your whole body, and it's called being in shape. And while you in shape, you flexing.
Yeah. So we are gonna flex financially for the rest of the year, and then we are going to kick off January 1 with a financial series that we would like for you to journey with us together. So we are going to go ahead and start off tonight with just kind of telling you our financial, what are we going to call it?
You doing what you want to do?
No, not financial. Our financial will be flabby. Since we get ready to flex. So we will give you tips and stuff as we head throughout. We're going to have some worksheets available, but tonight we're just going to give you a little bit of backstory. We're just going to be the Browns on tonight, transparent. We want you to take this, kind of think about your story after tonight. Where do you stand in your finances? How is it affecting your marriage? So that is really the key to this series. Us working together as a unit to flex financially on one accord, because that is one of our areas of weakness. So we felt like, hey, let's bring it to the light. Let's get some accountability partners with you all out there to hold us accountable to the goals that we have for our finances so we can all flex.
Now, the thing about anything, when we talk about relationships, when we talk about marriage, we talk about man and woman, they start from the beginning. And it got to start from how you raise, where you come from. Now, the typical black family really never been taught how to manage money, how to save money, manage money, or the value of money. So I think coming up as a kid, I had a father that changed his life around, and he tried to give it to me, but my mindset was already set. I was already at a certain place, and you get conditioned to the mindset of what you've been around, what you've been doing. And if you don't value a dollar, it's going to leave your hand, and you're going to begin to splurge. Not save, but splurge.
So let's start from the beginning of our story. We'll just both give our backstories and then kind of where we were in our marriage. Then we'll pick up Thursday with where we are now and some things that we've identified, because honestly, we were just arguing on Sunday.
I wasn't arguing.
Well, it was heated fellowship.
It wasn't heated. Regarding if it heated, it'd been right.
Our finances. However, so for me, again, I mentioned before, like I grew up in a single parent home. My mom was a very hard worker. She was a good saver. As Bobby likes to say it was just me and my sister. He would say, like, we were spoiled, right? That's what you want to say. So my dad was there. He was there like financially though. My parents, they separated. So we were accustomed to, because my mom was a single mom, it was just me and my sister. We ate out. My mom did cook sometimes, but it was nothing for us to eat out. We went shopping frequently, things that we wanted, things that we liked. My mom's whole mentality is like, if you work hard, then you can play hard. So that was kind of where I came from. And then I'm going to let Bobby tell his side of the story, and then we'll bring it together.
Well, I grew up also, my mom being a single mom, and seeing her, I remember when she woke up, like she always been on her own, always been us, but I remember when she woke up and she bought the first house, and, been there on 30 years, and I seen her change in value of dollar. Now, we ate out, not all the time, only on payday.
Well, our eating out was different though. We were going like the Red Lobster all the time. We would still do that. Not like Red Lobster is so high end, but for Bobby, when we got together, and we're not gonna get into that.
No, we didn't get into that because either I'm gonna spend $15 or I'm gonna spend $40. Anyway, but we value. My mom valued $1, and I seen that. I think what happened with me and even my father, seeing him be responsible with money, talk about 401ks and different dynamics. But just my personality, there's a discipline I think that comes with it, and being not disciplined play a role in all areas, like even finance. So when I got $1, I got rid of it. Quick as I got, the quicker it was gone.
So fast forward, we get married. I am 22, and Bobby is 24.
3.
He had just turned 24 the week before. He loves to say that. So I'm 22. He's 24.
And we bought our first house.
But let's back up. So Bobby was working for American Axle, like General Motors back then. And at that time, I was not working because I was pregnant with Joshua. Mm-hmm. But so we didn't even go on a honeymoon. So sometimes we get it right.
I think that you have.
It's the consistency.
You start off. We had the momentum. We start off initially. We understood what was important, but it ain't how you start, it's how you finish.
Right.
The race is not given to the swift and strong, but those who endure. And I think what happens is we know what we wanted and we did the proper steps, but it's the consistent base of that.
So we get the house. We closed on our house a week before our wedding. Mm-hmm. Beautiful first home. I mean, honestly, based on the money that Bobby was making at that time, the mortgage should have been a breeze. We did not have any car notes or anything like that. We are like always team no car note. That's one thing we kind of got together. But then, and this is where we were maintaining, we were doing good. But then child support kicked in, right? So that was really a lot, that was taking up a lot of his finances. So at that time, things kind of...
let me know, I wasn't paying like $75, $50. I'm paying like $200.
He was paying almost $400 a week. Yes, it was. It was $324.
See, our whole demeanor just...
Sorry. So it was three something a week because they got paid weekly. 3 something a week. Even though with $300 something a week, we still was okay. I mean, we still could have been maintaining. We still should have been maintaining. But again, but not only that, poor spending habits, which we're like gonna get into that. Eating out, not really having anything to, show for.
It's a form of laziness because you have to be, again, back to discipline, struck of your time, of your day, much as not only with food, but also dealing with everything else that you're doing, that you have to get done.
Right. So fast forward, we have Joshua, and then child support is just piling on us, court fees because we're going through this whole custody situation, lawyers. So at this time, we were kind of getting behind, and then from there, basically, we decided to move, right? So we knew Bobby was going to take the buyout. We were going to stay in Michigan, but that was at the point we were like, we can take this money and stay, or we can take this money and move. So we decided to move to North Carolina. We took that. I got a job first here, and it was a good job. So I was working first. Bobby was kind of staying home when Joshua was looking. He found a job. Bam. 2 good incomes. We should be able to get it popping. So our house in Detroit, we had to walk away from that. Yeah, that was when the market tanked. Yeah, so we couldn't even sell it, right? So we leave that. We basically like, okay, we got a clean slate. We got
really
a lump sum of money. Starting over. Lump sum of money. What do we do? What do we do?
You talk, what do we do? What you do?
Same habits. Yeah. Lump sum of money, same habits. Nothing has changed. We're eating out, just being lazy, not want to go to the grocery store. Was I like shopping? Kind of. Were we buying things? Kind of, but nothing like tangible. Were we making investments? No. Right? So we were renting, really couldn't buy a house because of the last house, but...
Now remember, you did your job shut down after I was working that period of time, 3 months. Over 3 months,
Well, wait a minute. Before we can get to that, though, when we were both working, even still then, we weren't doing what we should have been doing. No, there were different investments that we should have made. We did not have that mindset. We had the same mindset that we left Detroit with, even with money in hand.
But that should show you right there, even though because you move, or you get another spot, another individual,
or even if you get an increase,
you think if something gonna change, it all go back to the mindset.
Your mindset and the habits that you have.
More money don't mean that it's gonna get better.
No.
If you don't have a mindset, if you don't have a discipline, understanding how to manage, that's why managing money is the most important part, because you don't know what to do with it. And we were very frugal.
When?
Now.
Oh, so we're not to now. We just in North Carolina. So, and what you'll find in our story, like the Lord always blesses us. At some point, we always come into large sums of cash. Like, how many times have we had lump sums of cash?
Everybody have been?
Well,
No.
We're being honest.
We're being honest, but you ain't gonna tell everybody.
We're being honest. We have come into. We have come into large lump sums of cash, like the buyout, different things, right?
We've been blessed.
But this is just showing you that the habits, like in your mindset, that is the key. So fast forward, we're here, bam, we're both working. Then we're back down to one income because I get laid off, but Bobby is working. So that's enough to sustain us.
For 5 years.
Cannot.
Okay, I'm just talking. Haven't you been talking? All right, I'm just chiming in.
So I get laid off. Bobby is working. We are cool. We're cool at this time, though. It's a good amount of money coming in. I'm getting unemployment. Bobby is working, so it's almost like we haven't missed a beat, right? So, hey, we should be stacking, right? No. I get pregnant with Gabby. We ended up moving into another rental house, and this is another piece of bad decision making that we normally do. We moved into a rental house this time that was above our means as far as the monthly.
Well, we rushed because the house at the end got broke into, and you were pregnant, and you was like, I gotta be out.
See, let me say this.
And I'm saying, so in the same scenario, as we begin to look, that was the only place that we can actually get.
I love this man right here, but we about to keep it 100. We were rushing, but there were we should have still went lower. It was other options. That's what we do, though. That's what we do. Let me say this. He loves to say I'm spoiled, but we want what we want, and that's just the bottom line. That's just keep it real.
I want what I want.
Oh, you know you do. Okay. So not to belabor the whole point. So we rent another house when I had Gabby. Perfect. We looked at the location. It was like around the block from our church. But honestly, we should have never really moved there because the rent was too much for one income, and we had a new baby on the way. So like that was another poor decision, right? So we stay there, and then we wise up. Let's just move into an apartment so that we can.
Well, sometimes you just don't wise up. Life makes you wise up.
That too.
And being wise means just being real, because the reality of it is, if you trying to be wise, you wouldn't be in the situation in the first place. What happens is reality start jabbing you, and talking about flexing, that weight start getting heavy.
And we ain't pushing it up. We just, at this point, we just piling it on, right? Not making sense. We really are down to one income now. I've had a baby, not going back to work, because Bobby was like, you need to stay home with the kid until they can talk. Or at least until they too.
Or are you saying, hey, I want to be a mom and stay home with my
baby?
I
did want to stay.
All right,
but don't say that. Wait a minute. No, so if I had a baby right now, the baby could go to daycare?
You got it. What? Because daddy home.
Well, if you wasn't home. If you weren't home, could the baby go to daycare?
We're not talking about that.
He does not believe in babies going to daycare. Let's say that. So I have Gabby. Of course, I'm home. So life, more weight is piling on. So from there, we move into an apartment. That's when we went to apartment, not apartment 20. Moving to the apartment. Okay, in the apartment, still one income. And honestly, I do not even know what was going on in the apartment because we were not paying like we should have paid there. That's still those bad habits. It was enough money coming in then too Because the rent there, even on one income. Now, one thing that we did have to do, this is another bad decision. We just being transparent, because hopefully this will touch somebody for you to look at your life and see, you know what I'm saying, how we can make bad choices, but God can always turn it around. But we have to do what? We got to start flexing. We got to push through the hard part to say, okay, we can't do this.
You got to change your mindset.
Right. Okay, we cannot do this, so we're going to have to go do A, B, C, and D. But, so moving to the apartment, van gets stolen. We had to get a car note. Well, we didn't have to. We kind of did have to.
We chose to.
We chose to. But it worked in our favor because it helped build up our credit in preparation to buy our house.
See, and this is the thing about, but see, this is the thing about from when we moved the first time, the second time we moved here, because someone broke in the home. Sometimes situations happens, you reacted from what happened. Our car got stolen twice. Okay. Yeah. And you know, we from the D and we in North Carolina, and that just don't sound right.
We run the investigation by the insurance company.
Bobby Brown didn't help at all either. But we were reacting because of the situation. And I've learned that no matter what happens around you, you must really still be patient, still be disciplined and prayerful, because you just don't want to rush. Okay, you got to be quick on your feet, but you got to be.
But God is not in rushing. That was something else that I read. Like, God is not in rushing. You know what I'm saying? You can always take time to make a decision, because if it is for you, then it's going to be there regardless. So that's something, I'm happy that you said that. That's a great takeaway, and something our pastor always tells us, like, in order to find your purpose or to know what your calling is, study your life. Even in that, when you study your life, just not even in your purpose, but looking back, the devil can't see our future, but he knows our past, right? So that means he knows that when we're put in a situation, right, where it's like gotta be a rush, we don't always make the best choice. Well, I'm speaking life. We haven't always made the best choice.
And also what happens is, in the midst of all that, you still want what you want. I don't care if it's some ice cream, I don't care if it's some shoes, I don't care if it's some food, clothing, if it's whatever. I think you just gotta be real with yourself. And I think what happens is, if you don't be honest for what's at hand, then you'll start, you know, your imagination will go somewhere, and you just go do what you want to do. And that's the part you start digging the hole. I heard a man say one time, if you're digging a hole, what's the first thing you're supposed to do? Stop.
If you want to get out of the hole, stop digging.
But if you don't stop digging, you're just going to keep going farther and farther. And that is the reality. And until you be honest that way, you'll keep digging.
So we are actually, I think we gave you a lot tonight. We will be back on Thursday, because we brought you up to us moving into the apartment, the decisions that we made there, like getting a car note, and then next episode we'll kind of talk to you about how we got into our home, where we are now, and honestly just like where we stand with our finances. And then we're gonna just highlight some patterns, which Bobby just kind of talked about, that we've seen in our marriage, and hopefully that'll help you to identify some patterns or find out what those patterns are. Because if you don't pass the test, right, the first time, guess what? You're going to have to retake it. Tonight, we have hit you with our first episode in our Financial Flex series. We hope you enjoyed tonight's episode. Don't forget to like us on Facebook, subscribe on YouTube, and follow us on Instagram, where we'll be posting weekly tips to get your financial flex on. In addition to that, if you guys have questions about your finances, or if you just need prayer, you can always email us at questions@breakingbreadwiththebrowns.com. Again, that's questions@breakingbreadwiththebrowns.com. So again, thank you for tuning in. We look forward to seeing you guys on Thursday night as we get our financial flex on. Break bread.
Break bread.